All right, let's look at chapter 2 of PowerPoint and make sure if you're behind that you're getting caught up, because next Friday is the end. So we're down to the end, and then you got final 2. So with chapter 2, they're looking at some graphics type stuff. And that they do several different things, and then looking at this and figuring out exactly what they're wanting exactly each time can get a little tricky. So they go in and they talk about shapes, that there's a number of shapes available for you out there. I think it's actually on the insert menu also. Yeah. So if we go to the insert menu, that we can find shapes on there. So that shapes are right here. And then you guys looking at word art also, which we'll look at in just a minute, which is over to the side on there. Shapes gives us the ability to put a number of different shapes into our document. You may use that sometimes. Once in a while I do stick a shape in. Now I've got shapes again. There it is. So I click on shapes. It gives me all kinds of different drawings that they've already got out there for you that you can work with. The arrows actually is what I have used the most of right here, the block arrows, to putting a big arrow on a page pointing at something for some reason. Lots of other things, the call outs, which is sort of like when you're looking at comics or cartoons and this little box above it with comments. Those are the call out things. Little action buttons that you can put on there for like back and forward, other type of things. Flowchart symbols, if you're going on into computers and you need to draw flowcharts, but they've got all your basic symbols sitting there for you already. Equation shapes for certain things. And like I say, the arrows, they're what they call basic shapes. You've got a bunch of different things. A variety of rectangles, lines that you can put in there. And then it puts them into a recently used up at the top. So if I was to click into the call out one, I would then come in here and draw where I want to put that, and it's going to draw the shape for me, so I will make it the size I want it. It's not going to just pop it in there. So everybody follow on that? You got to go in, and once you've chosen it, go in and actually put the symbol in there. It's a little different than what you usually used to. So we got a nice little box there, which is actually a text box for you, and that you can, it's got resizing handles on it, so grab your handles on the sides right here and expand, or you grab your corners and expand proportionately. You can move it around, and even the little extra little piece here you can resize on it. So you can play around with the looks of them. They give you some basic styles already for this shape, and that you can change the color if you want to where it's having different color to it up here, and you can actually go into the fill here and you can change to whatever color you want it to be on the background. So we can do those, or we can do the fill. The outline just changes the line around the box from the one that's on there, so you can change that from black if you want it. And then you've got different effects you could put in there of changing how the edges look and stuff. Bevel says it's a little roundish one, and it rounds the edge. A shadow one on it. So if I do with a outer shadow, it now shadows it slightly for us, so that if you look at it, you see it's got a darker down here at the bottom and nothing up here at the top, so you can play with that. You can type into that box that we can go in the box, click in it, and we can proceed to type. Let's just go right ahead. And that when we click into the box that we can start typing, and it will let us type in the box. So then you can do your typing in there. You can also put a text box in there if you want to type somewhere different on it. And that we can mark a text box right there. And so now we've got a spot to type text ourselves, or you could have gone with its default in the middle of it. Text boxes just allow you to type stuff at different places. That's really what you've got. Is these are really fancy text boxes that are set preset sizes and everything. So you can add text boxes also to your thing on there also. So we can go in and do all of that with the little shapes. So you can do a lot of things with shapes. Questions on the shapes? Then they talk about theme colors. That's again, that should be on design. And that we can choose a theme. There we go. Sometimes the themes don't exactly show to us. We can actually come in and we can format that theme. So we can go to the format background, and now we can change. Right now it's a picture or texture field because it's actually a texture field. We can go to a pattern field, and that actually changes it some on the pattern to it. So we can go with a pattern to it, and note it may be hard for y'all to see it right there, but there's actually red and black dots all over this thing. You can't really tell it looking at it here on the screen, but if you notice it did change slightly. None of these are gonna, so it can change on that. Hide background graphics can be if we want to, we don't want the graphic that's on there to show. Gradient fill is sort of like what we just talked about, shadow. It just gradually switches from one to the other. So it's going from white to red. And then you can in turn choose palette gradients. You can also choose the color that it's doing the gradient of. And this is all messing with the theme, so they gave you some preset things, and then we're playing with it further. So we can, so you can see where you can choose what color it's starting with, and then you can choose the color that it's ending with. And so you can see where we've gradient in between, but you can choose all of those little whited spots to change how it changes color on it. So y'all can see we can do all kinds of weird things with it. You can also change where those gradient spots occur at just by hitting those sliders and sliding it out. So you can get the slide to look just like you want the slide to look, no matter what it is. Okay? So you can use your imagination wildly going, and this is just working from a theme and then editing the theme. Transparency gets into if we've got other stuff on it. The direction is where is it going from and to, of which way is it working, and you can actually change that around to a number of ways, flip-flopping, going from corner instead of from top to bottom, which is what we were doing. You can do it from corner to corner, whatever you want to do. You can do it sideways if you want to do it sideways. So notice it's the same thing, it's just we've worked it sideways now. So you can change those around. Questions on working with the theme colors and the colors? So we've done all of that. Word art. Let's take this stuff all off here.
Mr. Watts, in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to hear you. What do you click on to for the, what you just done? Not designs. It's both things under designs or for shapes?
Because those were themes under design. Now I went to the insert one before when I went to shapes.
Okay, insert.
Is that what you needed?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to home and I'm going to insert another slide because I can't get that one back to blank. I'm going to kill the theme because I don't want any theme on this. Why is it not letting me kill the theme? Put a theme in, I should be able to get rid of a theme. Oh, probably. So you got lots of themes. Let's just start with a new show. So if we had some text in here, and I'm going to change the layout to just to a title and content instead of subtitle. So if we had some text in here, and we want it to do some fanciness with that, we can choose it first, and then go to word art, wherever I lost it to.
Go to what?
Insert and word art. And we can change how these characters look with predefined art to the words. So that if I was to choose this one that's an outline in blue, I just told you wrong. Choose word art and then type the text into the word art box. Sorry about that. So don't type your text first. Go to word art and the insert menu, and then accept it. Doesn't want to by default take the text off there that it says insert text here, which is weird. You would think as soon as you go to type, it would take that away because that's how it normally works, but it doesn't right here. So now I can type my name, and if you notice, it's now in a fancy typing there instead of just plain type. Purely by us choosing word art for it. Okay? So, I can also change that to a different word art. If I now choose it and then choose the other word art, then it will change around to different ones. So you're not limited to just the basic fonts, and you can change colors of text, and we can change the color of this text obviously just to our normal bit back on the home one. But now we can fancy it up. So word art just lets you fancy your text. Does everybody follow on that? And so you can do things with that. But it does require you to go to word art first and then type it into the word art box. So that's where they've got about creating interesting and eye-catching text effects that y'all can see off that one. Next one that they have is for putting in pictures in your document. So must be at the end of the line. So I can do insert again, and I can insert a picture. Now, you can go get a picture that you've taken and stick in there, or you can use their pictures that they include for you also, which they do sometimes. Sometimes that's not installed, and it doesn't look like we've got any pre-installed ones on our machines. Nope. So, but if you looked on yours, you probably do, because you probably just let it go ahead and install the preset pictures they have, and they'll give you a number of free to use pictures. So if it's their pictures that they've included with it, you can stick them in things and there is no royalty on it. Likewise, Microsoft will also give you videos that you can insert too, but right here we're inserting a picture. Could be a picture of your own that you insert there. So whichever type picture you want to insert. Let's see if there's anything on here. I don't think there's any pictures on these machines. There shouldn't be anything in camera roll, which there isn't. Alright. Should be a picture on my thumb drive. So we'll see what we got. And hopefully I won't forget my thumb drive in here. That's the most strange place to stick a thumb drive, is behind the screen, because on most of the others around school it's on the side, and so you see it. There you'll walk out never seeing the thing again, because it's not anywhere to be seeing. Maybe for y'all, maybe y'all's eyesight's different than mine, but I can't see through these screens. So Haley may be able to see this stuff. Let's see. If I've got pictures on here. Picture ribbon cutting. All right. I don't remember this picture at all. Maybe I will once we stick it in there. But some ribbon cutting at some place. Okay. Yes, I do remember now. Oh, okay. I think that's in downtown Chicago, and the business is gone. That it was a haircutting place. So I have inserted a picture, which was the big thing. I don't remember what the picture is here. I'm looking at the people in it, so I know it's in Walker County because Lacey's in it.
You consider her salon as a dryer.
So it's a hair salon actually over there. This was a year and a half ago or 2 years ago or something. Okay. But on your pictures, remember, it's just like we said about the word art stuff before, where you can move it around, or at the call outs, remember on it? This has got the same buttons on it that we had on the call outs. And actually your word art had the same thing to it too, but you've got button in the center of the sides. That one's just going to change it in terms of that part. So if you want to end up doing strange things to these people, looking like that they've gone through the carnival mirror thing, we can, because if we just drag this side one here, it's not going to proportionally change it. It just made us all skinny and tall, right? So, and then I can hit undo. And if we did it the other way, we'll skip that one because that'll make everybody short and fat. Okay? If you do the corner ones, where it's got the double-headed arrow pointing in, it is going to do it proportionately. So everything stays the same in it, it's just the picture changes its size. Which most of the time, that's what you want to grab, is the corner one, not the side ones. Everybody follow on that? Although sometimes, now if it's an actual picture, probably aren't going to use the side ones. If it's that word art or something else like that, or it's of a sign or something, you may do it with the side ones. But if it's a really picture, you want to grab the corner ones because you see what it does with it. Okay? And we can get it down to whatever size we need it to be. And we can make it bigger too, if we want. Okay? And so now y'all can spot in there and y'all can find me in the picture. Everybody follow on that part? The other part is with the double-headed arrow on it, you can actually just drag it around. Used to be they told you that you had to get on the side to do that, but you can actually just get anywhere on the picture and do that. This rotation one will let you change the angle. And think about it, there's plenty of times you see pictures and that we may well do a picture just like we just did right here. We haven't done anything weird to the picture. We've just made our page more attractive if we had a real page. So we could do things like that to the picture. So that little part up here is for rotating. So everybody follow on that?
Is that the double head angle? Is what you call that? That little thing there?
So it's using this button right here, and that we can then, just by clicking on it and dragging, it will rotate it. So we can, if I click on it, notice it goes to that little arrow, circular arrow, and now goes to 4 circle arrows, and I can just rotate it however I want. So we shot that picture in Australia, so we're all hanging upside down, right? Because that's below the equator. And that we can just rotate it however we want to rotate it. And remember, if you sit there and you goof up, remember the undo button will get you back to
What?
the undo button up there will get you back to where you had it. So if you go to rotate it and then you've stopped and you let go and then you go, ooh, I want to get something different, or I really didn't want to rotate it, just go hit the undo button and it'll set it back to where you were. Undo button is really, really nice. Okay? So you can play around with your pictures on that. You can actually do some playing with the pictures because you can change styles here on them. And if you notice right here what it has done, it has put a mat around the picture. It's put the white area around it, just like when you frame pictures, you're supposed to mat them. Although most of us never mat pictures, unless it's a real nice picture. So you can do a number of different ones on that. That they've got prefined ones up there, so you can make it look better than just a picture stuck in there. Then you can fool with the border, the layout, and if you've got multiple pictures in there, let's stick another picture in here. So insert one. Got much choice on our pictures. Hey, I did choose a different picture. We can do this forward and backward. Notice right now the big one's in the front, the other one's in the back. Does everybody see what I mean by that? So that this picture has been laid on top of this picture. You can change those. That's just bring forward or send backward. So in this case, this one we can't bring forward because it's at the forward, but we can click send backward and notice it puts it behind that picture. Now it's still the one chosen, even though it's behind, it's the one chosen, so those little lines are showing right there. Now obviously, when we go to show the show, those lines don't show it, okay? So you can choose whichever picture to do different things with it still. But you can choose which one's the forward one, which one's the back one, change them all around. That will work for a number of pictures, so you can move them through a whole pile there, so you can sit there and have fun moving around. So that's just to bring forward, send backward. If it's in the front, if you're going to bring it on in front of other pictures, bring forward. If you're going to push it back, just send back, and it just moves back anyway at a time. You could come up here and choose differently on the size on it, or you can just do the drag handles. Here's the other one we can do up there that we can do crop. And now what we can do is, doesn't look like it really cropped for me. Didn't. I didn't crop. We can crop it to a shape. So that's a forward-thinking group. So we just put them into an arrow. That makes for interesting, right? So you can do some weird things on that. You can, and so with the cropping, you can do some things, but it's not really giving you full cropping like you, if you were in a, but there we got it back, but it's not doing like if you go into your picture editing where you can actually crop out part of the picture for you. So it's not the full picture editing stuff here, but you can do stuff. So I say that makes interesting to have put it in an arrow there, because we may have been doing our newsletter. We want a picture of this announcing and that this is a forward-thinking group. So but putting it into an arrow shape right there works nicely for that, right? So you can see where you can do some stuff with this. So you're not limited, because obviously my camera did not take a picture that quite looked like what that ended up looking like. Okay? And then that we can do all kinds of stuff there. So we can, whoops, grabbed the wrong thing. Meant to grab the picture. And that's what you got to also watch out for, is you got all these lines now across the screen. So finding the right one on there. Now we've got a nice little looking little thing there to it. Questions on that? And you see how to resize the stuff. And notice it all works the same. So whether we were talking about resizing a picture, resizing word art, whatever, resizing is going to be the same type of thing. And that goes back to you had the same thing when you were in Word and Excel when you did pictures in there. But just wanted to remind you, because I hate lots of people that don't always catch that one. All right. Now, next one is organize information in a grid format using tables. Whoops. Let's close that one. I don't want that one anymore. Back to this one. And okay, there's tables. I'm looking right over it. I'm going, tables are on somewhere. You have already done tables in the other programs, okay? Same thing. If we want to insert a table in here, that will put the number of rows and columns to it. And notice we got a table that looks just like what you did in Excel. So, and then that you can type your stuff in here. And notice that you came up with the same design stuff that looks exactly like what we did in Excel across there. So tables aren't anything new to you. You did them a couple of weeks ago. So everybody got that part? Because the programs, Office programs, are all totally integrated. Then you can actually transfer the stuff from one program to the other. And you can actually sit there, if you put the table, insert a table from Excel into here, you can edit it while in PowerPoint and it changes it back in Excel. So we got that part. All right. I've already done that. I just told you about where all of that stuff is, the styles and all of that. Smart Art graphics. So we got another graphic coming up. and there's Smart Art here. And so you've got another variety of things here, and you can choose different types of things where it changes and that you can choose on these. Now, if I choose this one, notice now it gave me all of these text boxes again. And remember I said they were text boxes for word art too. So it's got preset boxes for us that I just chose and that we just type the text in there. So maybe we'll go with Haley there, Elijah there, just for I thought, but it didn't exactly let me type in there. So it wants me to insert pictures into them. Never mind. So we can stick pictures in there, and we don't have much choice on what picture. Actually, we can stick text in there. And so now, and then in the second box that we can put something else in it. So we've got the different names appearing in boxes. Y'all follow on that? And so you could do some interesting things on that, because if it was a list of different people that works for you, that might be something you wanted to do. And then that you could do some things off of those. So you can do a number of things off those, and notice those can change around into how you can do things with them. We can change colors on them too, so that we can make them different colors. We can go to a different layout to the same type thing. I guess we've just gone to a planet type approach, and Haley has become the largest planet in the system. And then we've got a little more organ chart there, and that we can do a number of different ones. And notice we don't have to click them, we can just go over them, and it will show us what they look like without actually going into it. There's an interesting little one. Okay, so y'all can see what you can do there with Smart Art. So they give you a lot of ability to do a lot of art type things. Some people use that stuff a lot. Most people don't really ever touch that. If you ask most people that use PowerPoint, they couldn't tell you anything about Smart Art. Okay, but use it extensively to do basic other stuff. So they're taking you on a little further on that. Well, and charts is another one for us that we can put in there. So back to PowerPoint. Let's give ourselves a new slide, because I think we may have filled that one up. We can also add charts in there. So there's insert again, and there are charts. And there's where you can actually show stuff in numbers in a graphical method. So we can have a line chart, and that we can click OK on that. And notice when it does it, it comes back and wants to work off of an Excel spreadsheet. That just type your data into the Excel spreadsheet that goes to here. It's an embedded Excel spreadsheet, so you're using Excel within PowerPoint. That's so type in our data, and then it will appear here, and then we can change whichever type chart it is also. That we go, oh yeah, we really want a line chart for this. And notice it just sticks some data in there to give you to start with, because you got to have something there so you can actually see a chart. So then we could change our labels and get rid of rows, etc. that we want to do. So we could change to a different one. And so there's different ones on that. And we can change the chart type. So instead we wanted a radar chart, and it shows you all the little dots going around on it. That's one I've never really used that chart type, but it makes it interesting to bring up. That we could do a pie chart, because y'all have all seen pie charts, and poof, we got a pie chart. What you've already done in Excel, remember, okay? So you've already done this stuff, but you can get it straight into PowerPoint. And that's not the page of that I want. Did I close on my other page? No. And so we've done that one. We've done that. Okay. So we have walked through chapter 2 of the big things in it. So let's do the same this week as we did last week. Wednesday, if you want to come get help from me, or if you want to come work on the machines in here, you can, or y'all can stay home. 3 of you, I think, showed up last Wednesday and worked in here. The rest of you didn't show up, which is no problem. Just make sure you're getting the work done and getting it all in. As I say, we need it by next Friday night. So just a little over almost 2 weeks. Questions on that? If not, that's it.